young boy presented having already seen an optometrist and had an exam. He'd been wearing glasses for a year or so, and his parents had still had quite a few concerns about his performance at school. So spelling and comprehension levels were really not at their potential. He had very poor concentration. He could really only keep his eyes on the page for 1 or 2 lines when he was reading, and they were the main things that they were concerned about. So functional vision skill assessment was done, and really there were quite significant problems uncovered and identified. He had a lot of problem focusing and maintaining focus when he's looking at something up close, and significant eye teaming issues as well. So it's very difficult for him to read and use his eyes as a team when he goes from word to word, when he's reading and writing. We did a perceptual vision assessment on him as well, and the main things identified that were concerns were his ability to have short-term recall when he's reading words and numbers, which was down on the 2nd percentile, and also his ability to recognise letters and words is also on the 3rd percentile, so very, very low. We prescribed glasses for him, which he was to wear full-time indoors, and he was asked to do some vision training. So he's done a program which requires him to do 16 weeks of vision training, which he's not completed yet, but he's already noticing a lot of differences. As he said, he doesn't feel stupid anymore, he doesn't feel different to his classmates, and his parents are noticing huge improvements with his performance at school generally.
So what was vision training like for you as a parent?
It was new, obviously, something that I didn't know anything about, but I found the vision training to be, I don't know, I could see all the different ways it was working for Coop, particularly the peripheral vision for him, and yeah, I think that as it's gone through the weeks, we're nearly at the end, and I can see as we've gone through that it has made a difference for him.
How much did you have to do at home?
Including the computer program, which Coop did by himself, and then we probably had 10 minutes a day after that.
What strategies did you find worked best to get success?
Games, definitely, if it was a game, yeah.
Give us an example.
Like an example, he would get a bean bag and throw it into a bucket, because he had to then change the distance, bring it closer, change it back, and he loved that sort of thing, so he could play that with his siblings. So any kind of form of a game that we were given was fine, it was easy. So
what strategies did you use for the ones that weren't like a game, that he struggled with?
If I was to be honest, maybe a little bit of bribery sometimes. Let's get this done, and there'll be a reward at the end of it, or there'll be something that he can do. So yeah.
What sort of reward?
Cooper loves chocolate or lollies, so it'd be something along that line.
What tips would you have for new families starting this process?
Give it a go, because you never know unless you give it a go. And as I said, I'd never heard of vision therapy before we started, and I said, what have we got to lose? We can only find out if it helps or not, so give it a go.
What's changed for you and your child?
Well, Cooper's a lot more confident, I think, with his schoolwork, and his writing is so much neater, it's not funny, so I think the confidence that has come from it has made a big difference for Cooper.
What would you say is the most important change for you?
Well, for starters, he's gone up just even in the last 6 weeks, maybe a bit longer. He's gone up 6 levels in his reading. So to show that it's working and the improvement is showing through his schoolwork, that would be the most important change for me.
Has the teacher commented?
Yes, she has, and he's been getting a couple of awards for his not only achievements, but his when he's trying. I can't think of the right word.
His aptitude.
Yeah, just for giving it a go, and he's been speaking more confidently. So he's actually coming home with a couple of awards for the teacher recognising what he's doing.
Okay. What's changed for you since you started vision training?
I've gotten better at writing these levels and reading, and I can go on the whiteboard and all that now.
How does that make you feel, that you can do those things better?
Good. I feel good because, like, I get, like, more stuff now, and, like, more information. And I don't know.
Good. Has anything else changed for you?
I can see better.
So Cooper, what was hard for you at school before you came to see us?
When my eyes hurting, when I would fight on the board at school, and reading and writing a lot.
What was hard for your reading? What did you find hard?
Well, it started, like, I thought I was getting no better, just going down, and sometimes it would annoy my eyes. It made me feel sad because I couldn't read my favourite books.
Could you keep up with the other kids in class?
Sometimes, but
So-
maybe sometimes not.
Did you like school?
Not much.
Initially, what needed to be done was to get the glasses and to strengthen his eyes. And then we had another assessment after a little while of that and found that the focus had not improved all that much. So we got some bifocals put in there and an assessment to see if the vision therapy was required, which it was. And if I can say, it's one of the best things we've ever done for him because he's made massive improvements at school. So I'm really pleased. Initially, he was finding schoolwork a little bit hard. He was having a little bit struggle with his reading, and it was suggested by an independent assessor to come and see you guys.
What was it like for you at home with those difficulties?
It was a little bit of a struggle sometimes because he found it quite frustrating to do the schoolwork afterwards, the homework and the home readers. So he would find it a little bit frustrating and not want to do it. Yeah.
What was your experience when you came to see us?
It was a bit of a relief, I suppose. There was some answers to what had been going on, so we felt like we were going to get somewhere.
How did you feel when you heard the extent of what was identified?
It was a relief to hear the extent of what was going on because I knew it was something that we could work on, and it was an answer and it gave a clear understanding. And when I spoke to the teachers and told him that his focus was a big problem, they said, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense."
Do you remember what was the main vision skills that was identified as being a problem?
One of them being the focus, and one of the main ones was that for him to look down at his bookwork or his schoolwork and then look up at the whiteboard, it was hard for him to adjust, and it would have just been a lot of a blur. So that was one of the main things that I remember, and that his eyes don't actually, this is the best way I can describe it, is they don't talk to each other. So for the left and right brain working together compatibly, they're the main things that I took from it.
How does that all make you feel?
Proud of him. Good on him. Yeah, I'm really proud of him.